Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Officials in Pakistan have confirmed that they have arrested and charged a man and are currently holding him for a full 4 days under terrorism acts for his part in spreading misinformation that led to the riots in Britain. If you remember, after the Southport tragedy, where an immigrant slit the throats, and yes, I know you're going to say, oh, he was from here. He's the son of an immigrant, and they kept showing this little boy's face, but he was a grown man. Slit the throats of 3 little girls. That then outraged everybody. And then the rumour started that it was done by a Muslim immigrant who was on a government watch list. And then the riots happened. And the government said, oh, look at these far right riots, all terrible people, all these terrible people. This is what happens when people lie and when there's misinformation. And they were blaming British people for this misinformation. And now it turns out that it was a Pakistani national in Pakistan who posted this information. And therefore, this is international terrorism, not far-right uprising. And so Keir Starmer has to walk this back, has to stand there, and I want to see him apologise to everyone he called far-right, because he said anyone who's protesting, not rioting, protesting, is far-right, and we're not. We're just sick to the back teeth of having our country taken from us by a constant stream of illegal immigration by people who've got no right to be here, and when they do get here, they hate us, they hate our culture, they hate our history, they hate everything about us, and they want to replace us. And he blames us for having that view of not wanting to be replaced. And now it turns out it wasn't the British people at all, it was a Pakistani. And now he is being questioned. And I would suspect that in Pakistan, questioning would be a bit more rigorous than it would be over here. Farhan Asif, who is the cyber terrorist, he's a freelance web developer, and he was produced before the court amid tight security. He was not allowed to talk to the media, and he was bound over and kept for another 4 days for questioning. A prosecutor for the Federal Investigation Agency, by the name of Kiran Makeem, I hope I'm pronouncing that rightly, told the court that Asif did not cooperate with officers after the same court the previous day allowed them to question him for a further day, and now he's got another 4 days. I suspect that the Pakistani police will have, as I say, some very pertinent questions, and we know that that sort of thing goes on in countries like that. And for once, I'm not going to be bothered about his human rights. Screw him. What about the human rights of those 3 little girls in Southport? So, yeah, screw him. Anything happens to him, oh dear, what a shame. Never mind, move on. But that goes to show the problem we have in this country, where our Prime Minister immediately jumps on the fact that it is British people who did this, and it isn't. And it's a man who's given half a chance to be an immigrant. Again, it's non-British people doing this, and he blames the Brits. That's why Starmer is a traitor to this country. He should not be the Prime Minister. I would suggest he should be jailed for what he's doing. And on top of that, just as an aside, when the Home Office is putting out this thing saying, "Oh, you're all criminals. We're gonna prosecute these criminals." They're not criminals until they're found guilty. And so obviously Lee Anderson comes up, and he is absolutely livid about this. So he's put the big letter in to Yvette Cooper, Wyballs, saying please provide all the information about these people and their past criminal behaviour and their past criminal convictions, because that's the only way they're calling them criminals. They must have been convicted at some point. And if not, why are you doing this? This is a breach of privacy. It's a breach of GDPR. It's a breach of their civil rights, and it's against the law of habeas corpus. There's all sorts of things that's going on here, and they now need to use that the fact that it's actually published on a government website as their defence to say, no, because of this going up, I plead not guilty, and I'm using this as my defence because I cannot get a fair trial now because I've been prejudged by the government before any legal trial. So I'd like to have the case dropped. There you go. Marvellous. Let's hope they do. Also, as an aside as well, and another one about the rioters. There's many sort of solicitors and barristers are coming up and saying, whatever you do, don't plead guilty, plead innocent, go to trial, absolutely go to trial, take it to trial, go to a jury, and in front of the jury, get your brief to argue about the section that's this is not for the rioters. This is for the ones that say bad things on Facebook, and then point to Article 10 of the ECHR, number 1, and then there's the act that they're prosecuting you under, and I can't remember the details of it, but it's the fact that it must be done. There's 4 different things you have to have done in order to breach the law. And if any one of them fails, then the whole law fails and you can't be prosecuted. So he's saying if you're one of those that get prosecuted for pushing things out online or in videos like me or whatever, first of all, never speak to the police, get your lawyer there, and then go for a jury trial. You'll win. You've got to win because of the very act by which they are prosecuting you. So lots of good news on that. Incidentally, while I've got you, and I'm going to do all this because I've just got a bee in my bonnet about Starmer today. I see yesterday he's kissing arse with the French and trying to reverse Brexit without going to the people. He's doing it salami slicing. Oh, we're going to allow under 30s into the country, free movement for under 30s, blah, blah, blah. He's salami slicing it up. He doesn't want to go to a referendum. He knows he'd lose the referendum. So he's just going to reverse Brexit one little law at a time and not ask us what we think. What's the word for that? Traitor. Yet again. Doesn't have the balls to go to the country, doesn't want a plebiscite, doesn't want a referendum. Why? Why? And what is it with these people that they seem to think that their view is more important than ours? He got 20% of the electorate, and yet he wants to completely change everything. Well, he can't, of course, because there's still a law in place saying that any change to the Constitution requires a plebiscite. So he'll have to reverse that law first. Good luck, because the moment he starts doing that, you know exactly what he's doing. I think this country does need change, and it needs it now before these people get their arse into those seats too snugly, because soon the next laws will be you won't be allowed to protest. That'll come. It won't come in one go. It'll be limited, slice, before even protesting is wrong. So we've got to deal with it one way or another. And I know the way I prefer. Peaceably. Be peaceable, and they can't do anything. The police can't handle it when people are not being naughty. It's only when you riot, it's only when you cause trouble the police come in. If you're peaceable, they're lost. They don't know what to do. Anyway, enough of that. It's a bit of a Charivari in one post, but there we go. Lots of things. Hope it's been useful. Thank you very much for watching. Keep an eye out. I managed to put a lot into one because I don't want to do 47 videos today. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a packed day. Anyway, thanks very much. Take care. Goodbye.